Father Bordeianu. I teach at Duquesne University, and I'm going to try to do something with you that I haven't done with my students before. So if it works here, I'm going to use it with my students as well. We'll see. No, you're not the guinea pigs. You're the cream of the crop, most intelligent ones, and then if that works, I'll apply it to my Duquesne students as well. Okay? So, let's see how this goes. Here's what I want to do. I want to introduce for you the first chapter of the book of Genesis and the first verses of chapter 2. However, I'm here to tell you that the first chapter of the book of Genesis is one of the most abused chapters when it comes to public discussion in the United States, and I don't know how it is in Canada, you tell me. But in the United States, we have a huge opposition between creationism and evolutionism, right? Yeah. Good. Where do you find the creationist view? In the Bible, in the church. Very good. This is the chapter that supposedly is creationist. How about we forget all about that, creationism, evolutionism, and look at this as a religious text. Father Bordeianu told you that some texts have to be looked at as religious texts, correct? Okay. This text was written by Jews for Jews. Okay. So, what is one of the major differences in our understanding as Christians about God and the Jewish understanding of God?
The Jews understand God as one person, and understand as three persons in one form.
Or in one nature. So we believe in Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Jews believe in God, period. Okay? So, as you read this text, again, written by Jews, for Jews, I want you to respond to the first question. What does this text say about God? It's not a very Jewish question. Jews are not really interested with theology so much as to what they're supposed to do. And so the second question you're going to answer is, what is this text telling me to do? Okay? Is this text telling me anything? To do anything? You'll see that most of the times it doesn't tell you what to do. Right? It doesn't say, go ahead and do this. Right? But it's implied sometimes that it tells you to do something. I want you to tell me 3 things about God based on this text. And 3 things that you're supposed to do. Whichever you choose. You understand what your assignment is?
Yes.
You're going to read the text, tell me 3 things, what it tells you about God, and 3 things, what you're supposed to do. Sounds good? Alright. In order to do that, I want you to read very carefully this whole first reading in Genesis chapter 1, and then up to here, verses 2 and 3 in chapter 2. Okay? So, my dear friends, what does this, first of all, what does this text tell you? What is it about?
Creation story.
God created the heavens and the earth. Very good. This is a perfect summary. And you know that because a good writer always has a thesis statement, like an introduction, and a conclusion. Look in your text, in which verse is the thesis statement that God created the heavens and the earth? Verse 1. Which verse is the conclusion?
So God was third.
God's 31. God's everything that he made and he did.
It does say heavens and earth.
Thus, Genesis 2:1, thus the heavens and the earth were finished in all their multitude.
Perfect. Never be led into error by the way we divide it into chapters and verses. This is a very recent thing, 15th century, about our common era after Christ. So sometimes it's really messed up. Because obviously you have a whole composition and then the conclusion. Thus it was done, right? So don't be fooled by the way we divide it in verses and chapters. So this text is about the way in which God created the heavens and the earth. Good? Perfect. What does it tell you about God?
It said he was so tired and needed to rest.
That what?
He was so tired from his creations and needed to rest.
Does it say he was tired? It's a good joke, but does it say that he was tired?
Doesn't say
It said he rested from all the work he did.
Very good.
that he saw.
Very good.
It's implying he was
Very good. That is not. It does say he's tired. So, what are you supposed to do?
Rest.
Rest. What if you're not tired?
Rest.
Rest. I'm asking you these things, okay? I things because they're very important. When you respect the Sabbath, rest. Is it a commandment to respect the Sabbath or the day of rest?
Yes.
In this text?
No.
No. It will happen with Moses later on. Well, Moses. God gave the law to Moses, but he actually first spoke to all the people. Okay? So it will happen much later. It's not a commandment yet. But you kind of understand, at the rest. On which day?
Saturday.
Seventh day. Could Wednesday be the seventh day?
No.
What if you begin counting from Monday, from Tuesday?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Seriously, right? When is the seventh day for Jews?
Saturday.
Saturday. So they will celebrate the Sabbath day on Saturday and rest. Okay? It's very important because Jews have 39 categories of rest. 39 categories of rest. All of these actually have to do with trading. Right? Do not exchange money.
What?
Do not carry things with you. Because when you do trade, you carry things with you, right? So listen, I went to Jerusalem just last week. And throughout the city, we could see wires around the city. The whole city actually has a wire around itself. But then there are some ultra-Orthodox neighborhoods that are surrounded by wires. Why? Because there is a Jewish interdiction that you're not allowed to carry anything outside of your house. What is house? Well, it's not just the tent anymore. It's maybe not just the apartment building anymore. So it's the city, right? If you're an ultra-Orthodox Jew, you're not allowed on the Sabbath day to have a handkerchief, a Kleenex in your pocket and carry it outside of the neighborhood.
What?
But where is your neighborhood? Within that wire. Okay? So that wire is not the border between Palestinians and Jews. That wire is not the city limit. That wire has absolutely no significance for me. Has absolutely no significance for most of the Jews. But I just want to give you one example of what it means to rest, even if you're not tired. On the Sabbath day, in my hotel, there were 2 elevators. One of them was the Sabbath elevator. How do you use an elevator? Push a button. That's work. That's work. But if you get in it, it's not work. So there is a Sabbath elevator that stops at every floor. And you get in it, and you wait until it gets to the 7th floor where you live, and then you come out, because you haven't done any work. There's another possibility. You wait until a Christian comes, who can actually push number 7 on the fast elevator and don't have to wait half an hour to get to your floor. So this is very important. You don't have to be tired, honey. Right? I'm sorry, this is a Pittsburgh thing, honey. We call honey everybody, even when we're upset with people. But, which I'm not. But even if you're not tired, you have to rest. Excellent. It's not a commandment, but it's implied. What else did this text tell you about God?
God is incredibly imaginative.
Incredibly imaginative. How imaginative is he?
Imaginative to create all this.
Everything that existed, right? Very good. From which verse did you get that idea?
Let there be light. If there is no light, how can you imagine light?
Very good. Excellent. When did he say that? Which verse?
3.
Verse 3. Let there be light. Very good. Excellent. Would you please keep that in mind until later on? Very good. Actually, no. Let me ask you just knee-jerk reaction. What is that light?
Physical light.
Physical light. Very good. Very good. Which comes from?
A source.
Such as?
God's imagination.
Oh, no, there's a physical light.
The sun.
Don't sanitize the text.
No. He didn't create the sun until later. It cannot have.
When? When? 4th day. He created the sun on the 4th day. Okay? Very good. God is incredibly imaginative. Can you find out the verses that would imply that God is incredibly imaginative? By the way, we theologians, we generally don't say incredibly, because we believe these things. So, God is very imaginative. Right? You know what incredibly means? Unbelievable. But well, let's believe it. So, how do you know that God is imaginative? Yes.
He creates many different creatures. It has a hierarchy, implying that in the end the humans are on top of all of them.
Very good. So the diversity, first of all, but then even the hierarchy is beautiful as well. Are there any verses that would show you that God is not a good creator?
No.
Yes. I'm not laughing. I'm not kidding.
God saw that it was good.
It was good, but it was ugly. Verse 2. Would you please read it?
The earth was a formless void and
Bleh.
Oh.
Wait. The earth was a formless void. Anyone can make it.
He didn't say he was done making it.
Ah! So it might be more like an assembly line. Or like you painting these icons, right? Which initially is just a little piece of glass. It might be even stayed, and maybe it has your fingerprints into it ugly. And then you see some of those little cups that, I mean, could you please hold up that glass, the cup, the plastic cup?
Cup.
No, the other one. Even that one. I mean, you look at that thing and what do you say? Dirty water. You look at this one and what do you say? Oh my God, who made this mess? Right? But if you think of it as the first element on an assembly line, all of a sudden, it has the potential to become beautiful. So what will God do? He will order that formless void, right? The formless void is not a beautiful thing, correct? Keep on reading.
The earth was a formless void and darkness covered the face of the deep waters.
Yes! Darkness is covering the deep. I mean, when you think of deep waters, is there anything beautiful about that? Ugly, microbial beings that you cannot see. So it doesn't have all that beautiful element. I'm not saying God is not imaginative, because if He can take that and make it into the beautiful thing that there is right now, absolutely, He's very imaginative.